Danny, Joe Rogan has been on a spiritual journey. It's been quite public. Joe Rogan, I enjoy going to church and I admire Jesus Christ. Joe Rogan said this in a recent podcast. He's had on theologians and pastors and spiritual leaders as Joe Rogan is on his spiritual journey, obviously leaning towards the teachings of Christ. And we pray for Joe Rogan. He is somebody who has said on his show, the world needs Jesus, with an uncomfortable laugh. I think he can't even believe he's saying this, because Joe Rogan has been quite secular in his beliefs. But you know what? The Spirit moves you.
We need Jesus. I think, for real. Like, if he came back now, it'd be great.
And it's obvious that when you have a show that can be centered around the unexplained, aliens or pyramids or the great beyond, time travel, or let's just say some very dark stuff that happened with Jeffrey Epstein, that perhaps the only way to explain it is through a spiritual lens. And when you're watching our elite predator cult get exposed, like, remember that one time that Stephen Colbert literally sacrificed a live human baby on his show? Everyone was laughing about this. Everyone laughed.
No, take the baby. Take the baby. Don't eat me, eat the baby.
Don't eat me, eat the baby. And then Colbert says, he thinks the baby's fine. Yeah. I'm carrying.
I'm sure the baby will be fine.
These people are sick, truly sick demons. And Joe Rogan just had a Hollywood director on his program.
Babies, man. Like,
that's
That you think is real. So,
well, yeah, not only that, I think that there's, sacrifices going on every day in Los Angeles. I mean, allegedly, like, high-level musicians, let's say, high-level female musician, is like, killing chickens every day, doing sacrifices.
Dude wrote Pulp Fiction. I mean, there's so many little, like, breadcrumbs for all of this. Where is the weirdest place that you've had sex?
Answer.
John Legend and Chrissy Teigen.
Public place you did it. Is this the best or the worst? What do you do?
The best.
Okay, the best. Probably the Obama thing.
What? John, what's it? Oh, God.
Watch John Legend's life leave his body. Look at his cold, dead eyes. He doesn't answer. They go on for another minute trying to get him to explain the Obama thing. And then Chrissy Teigen says, I'm in trouble for talking about this. It's creepy, man. It's weird. Joe Rogan turning to Christ, probably because he covers too much of this stuff, right? Is dark and sick. The connections to the CIA, Catherine Rumler, Obama's lawyer. Obama shared a lawyer with Jeffrey Epstein. They shared a lawyer. She was the White House counsel for Barack Obama. This is why I think Rogan is deciding the only way to actually thoroughly explain all of this is to look at it through a spiritual lens. I mean, it kind of explains where, if Rogan does this all day, like, eventually you're going to have to return to the creator of the universe to understand the universe, which is what Rogan wants to do. The amount of times they talked about jerky, man. It's Jeffrey Epstein's email. This is a full log of every email that's been released by the DOJ. Jeffrey Epstein. Oof. Anyway, Rogan sounding off on this. I thought it was a beautiful clip with Robert Malone here explaining, like, that there's just full demonic references and then talking about a little girl praying to Jesus, saying that the only way to understand this is through the language of theology. The darker and darker things get. And, man.
you see in the email, like, clear evidence that they're talking about children
in pretty obscene ways,
horrifying ways. So that was the thing that, like, even when I talked to Mike Benz about that, he was sort of incredulous about that. It's like, I don't think they would use children. It just doesn't make any sense if they got caught. But it just seems like
Yeah, if Mike Benz was incredulous,
I know.
that's pretty big.
I just don't think we really knew until we saw those files come out.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, well, there's no denying it now. My position on it is completely shifted. I thought there's probably some really sick people that have an appetite for that, but I hadn't seen any real evidence for it until these files. And now they're like, oh, this is demonic. This is clearly demonic.
Okay, so thank you for saying that. I'm somebody who was raised a Christian and went to Bible school and that kind of stuff as a kid, and youth groups, and then growing up in Central Coast of California, let's say, veered in different ways. But the experiences that we've encountered over the last half a dozen years, it's hard to come up with a language to express what we're observing in the world other than the language of theology.
Such an important point. Theology is the only language that actually can properly explain Barack Obama, Joe Biden, whatever the hell that was, the election of 2020, COVID. And then Joe Rogan goes even darker and deeper into this email about a girl praying to Jesus.
That are 100% some kind of a code.
Yeah.
And then it brings you back to Pizzagate.
Yeah.
And which was widely dismissed.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, this is a bunch of kooks. Here it is. She said she felt God's presence next to her when she was in bed. She knows that Jesus watches over her and he helped save her life. And then he writes, whoops. And then in response, Jeffrey Epstein says, you should dress up as him when you see her.
It is dark.
You should dress up like Jesus when you see her. What the fuck?
And well, look at the
You're
line.
talking about a little kid
Look
that's
at the
praying
line.
to
Look at the line
Jesus.
above it. How
Of
am I
course.
supposed to interpret "I'm coming" trick?
The OH Jesus, I'm coming trick.
It's just the whole thing. But so we see this darkness. It involves leaders in academia, in science, in industry, in politics.
They did a child sacrifice ritual live on the Colbert Show. You can still go read the Podesta emails about spirit cooking. Evil is real, and good is real. Darkness is real, and light is real. And that's the best part about it, is that it isn't just totally conquered by darkness. And so be on the side of light. If you're disgusted by this stuff, if you don't like reading all the jerky emails and Jeffrey Epstein's email cache, then be on the side of light. And this is your calling. And Joe Rogan found the way. You can too. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. We do our best to be salt and light. But yeah, in dark times.